Welcome to SVG-TV News for Wednesday, January 23, 2019. I am Jennifer Richardson. Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves on Tuesday said the proposed construction of a new hospital at Arnisvale is still in the pipelines and that he is optimistic that construction work will commence in 2020. Speaking at Tuesday's commissioning ceremony for the new Coast Guard vessel at the cruise ship terminal, PM Gonsalves said it is his hope that members of the private sector will do their part to help make the project a reality.
In the plan for the acute referral hospital, which would be the target, the magnet, the anchor project at the city out in Arnisvale will be this $50 million US acute referral hospital, which is being designed as I speak. And part of the design is a helipad. Hopefully a private sector entity can come and operate one and go between here and St. Lucia and so on and so on and so forth.
Meanwhile, the government is said to be carefully examining the issues surrounding the medical marijuana industry and corresponding banking. So says Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves as he spoke on WeFM's Issue at Hand program last Sunday, where he discussed various topics of national concern. As it relates to the medical marijuana industry, the Prime Minister said that there is a lot of detailed work which has to be done to ensure the industry can have a good start, with the issue of corresponding banking being one of them. The Prime Minister said currently the U.S. federal government is preventing U.S. banks from doing transactions with entities involved in businesses related to marijuana, and that his government is carefully examining a solution through the Canadian banks.
Obviously, it is one in which there would be specific requirements in order to conduct the trade. And the trade would not be conducted with any part of the world in US dollars. But it will be done in other currencies depending on what that particular country. Presumably, the same thing would apply if you trade in a Eurozone country. And in the Eurozone country that you have, it's allowed, importations are allowed, well then you will trade with all the various restrictions on a particular platform, but in the currency of that particular country, which would be the euros. But I was talking specifically now about our correspondent banking relationship with the Canadian bank. And once we do it in the manner in which the broad frame which I'm suggesting, that you're not going to have difficulties, the pairs with the correspondent bank in the USA.
Addressing those who continue to criticize the government for not freeing up the hub, the Prime Minister said it is of critical importance that SVG build an industry that is export-oriented based on its unique circumstances.
That's $2.5 million. 2.5 million people in Jamaica for the freeing up the weed. Well, people can grow and make a fair amount of money on that because 2.5 million consumers. You can do that inside of California, which if it were an independent state would have been the 5th largest economy in the world, with 40-something million people. Canada is 30-something million people, and so on and so forth. And then some of the challenges that we have as a small state in finding space with the International Narcotics Convention, to which we are signatory and most countries in the world are signatory. We have to move in a careful manner, and a practical manner, and a manner consistent with our own circumstances.
On December 11, 2018, Parliament passed a bill to establish the medical marijuana industry, which Minister of Agriculture Sabota Caesar believes would position the country to become a leading medicinal cannabis hub, not only in terms of high-quality production, but research. The reintegration of HIV care into the primary health care system is one of the objectives that the HIV/AIDS unit is hoping to accomplish this year. In a telephone interview with SVG-TV News, Director of the HIV/AIDS unit, Ferosa Roach, said the unit continues to play its role in sensitizing the public on HIV/AIDS as well as to provide the necessary care and support for those living with the disease. Roach said in 2017, the Pan American Health Organization PAHO provided technical assistance to allow for an evaluation of the primary health care facilities, and that the unit is looking forward to piloting a project which will lead to the reintegration of HIV services into the primary health care system.
For 2019, we are again going to collaborate with the Pan American Health Organization, because we're hoping to move forward to pilot in this integration into into selected primary health care facilities, because we know that presently there's one centralized care and treatment center for persons living with HIV, and we have persons from all over St. Vincent living with the HIV and AIDS. We have persons in the Grenadines, we have persons all over St. Vincent, and sometimes it is a challenge for them to get to the Grenadines, to get to this one centralized care and treatment center to access treatment. So we want to make care and treatment accessible to everybody.
Roach said it is hoped that the pilot project will help build the capacity of healthcare providers across the country.
Well, if we're going to pilot this integration of HIV into primary health care, we have to then build the capacity of our healthcare providers to provide HIV prevention, care and treatment services. So we're hoping to build the capacity of healthcare workers, further build the capacity, because we have been building their capacity, but now that we want to move integrate HIV into primary health care, we're going to continue to build the capacity so that they can offer quality care.
The HIV/AIDS unit director said she is also looking forward to a positive evaluation on SVG from the World Health Organization, the WHO, and PAHO relating to mother-to-child transmission.
Well, St. Vincent was not fortunate to be part of that group, but for 2019 we are hoping to, because we had already conduct our record search, and we did some documentation and we draft the report, but we did not apply for validation because we had some internal matters to deal with. So for 2019 we are hoping to review that report. We go back to the table, we're hoping to review that report, and we're hoping to apply for validation of elimination of mother-to-child transmission of HIV and syphilis. We are also planning to review and update the prevention of mother-to-child transmission of HIV policy, because that policy is a bit updated. So we want to review the policy and make it current.
The police have arrested and charged several persons here with the offense of rape and indecent assault, which occurred between 2016 and 2017. In an incident which is said to have occurred between May 29th and June 27, 2016, a 37-year-old farmer has been arrested and charged with the offense of indecent assault and unlawful sexual intercourse. The accused allegedly had unlawful sexual intercourse with a 13-year-old student, she being under the age of 15 years. The 37-year-old was additionally charged with the offense of indecent assault, which allegedly occurred between June 27, 2016 and September 1, 2016. In a separate incident, the police have arrested and charged 3 men, a 24-year-old and 2 26-year-olds, with the offense of rape. The 3 men allegedly had sexual intercourse with a 47-year-old domestic who, at the time of the intercourse, did not consent to it, and they knew that she did not consent and were reckless as to whether or not she consented. The incident occurred between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. on October 13th last year. The police have also arrested and charged a 31-year-old chauffeur with the offense of rape and indecent assault. The accused allegedly had unlawful sexual intercourse with a 15-year-old student who did not consent to intercourse, and at the time he knew that she did not consent to the intercourse or was reckless as to whether she consented or not. The 37-year-old was additionally charged with indecently assaulting the complainant. The incident occurred between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. on December 5th, 2017. Amara Adams of the Canaan's Government School emerged winner of the 2019 Primary Schools Grade 6 Writing Competition hosted by the Ministry of Education in collaboration with Harder Education. Second place went to Silik Frederick of the Brighton Methodist School, while Jevon McCoy of the Pamelarsburg Primary School placed third. The students were exposed to several genres of writing and wrote their final pieces today at the Curriculum Development Unit, which was followed by an award ceremony to acknowledge their achievements. At the closing ceremony, which took place at the French's House, students received certificates of participation, trophies for their schools, and other individual prizes. The top 3 performers also had the chance to read their winning compositions to the audience, which comprised of other students, teachers, principals, parents, and education officers. Here is a snippet of the presentation by the top 3 students.
The day I was invisible. My mom always told me, be careful what you wish for. And I wish I had listened to her. I was playing with my dog and my friends in the yard. We were having loads of fun. My mom started calling me, but I didn't want it to be troubled. Get your lazy butt up and help me in the house, my mom yelled from inside. Fine. I wish everyone would just leave me alone, I whispered under my breath. A week later, my wish came true, but it wasn't what I expected. I woke up. It was a Monday morning and the sun was shining in Murrayville, where I lived. I was still on the bed, and when I turned to the right and looked in the mirror, I saw no one there. My favorite pet's name is Pixie. Pixie is a female poodle. She is very fluffy, has white and brown hair and black eyes. She has 2 new puppies, Phoebe and Kyra. Phoebe barks at everything, but that is her way of protecting. She loves belly rubs, bath.
In most schools, when we go on field trips, the teachers often choose where we should go. I am of the opinion that the students should pick the location of the field trips. Firstly, I think we should have a field trip to the police station because we can learn what to do when we get robbed or kidnapped. We also can get answers to questions that we...
Harder Education representative Byron Wilson took the opportunity to encourage more schools to participate in next year's writing competition.
So I'm encouraging all schools, when you get the correspondent to take part, make sure you prepare the students so that they could be part of the competition. Because it's very important that we have the schools participating, and it's a writing competition. And you do writing for your CPEA exam. And being a past teacher, I know that you do English every day, sometimes more than 1 time. So it doesn't take a lot to have the children involved in some form of writing and give them the chance to be part of something that...
The return of the book No Dress for Timmy on the mega online store Amazon is being hailed as a victory for truth and science. The book, which was written by local author Shefflon Ballantyne, was banned last year from the popular online store due to lobbying from various LGBT groups. In an interview with SVG-TV News Today, Ballantyne said he was informed that as of Tuesday, January 22nd, 2019, his book was once again being made available through the online store. Ballantyne said this was due to the work of a famous YouTuber with over 1.5 million subscribers in the US and a petition which received a lot of international support.
At that same point in time, there was a petition going around which was started to push them or to sort of bring people aware of the issue and to call upon Amazon to remove or lift the ban on the book, and that was gaining tremendous success, over 170 signatures within a few hours. All right, and that was very significant. I believe quite a lot of persons in the international arena called Amazon to inquire about it and to argue with them about it as well, because I saw comments to that effect. So it's a multiplicity of factors put together that cause us to arrive at this point where Amazon decides it's within their best interest to allow it. And I'm very grateful for that, because I see it as a victory for truth, a victory for science, a victory for truth and science over cultural Marxism.
Ballantyne said while he is thankful for the support he has received, he expects continued opposition from the LGBT community.
Happy to see the outpouring of support and the encouragements. Persons send scriptures, persons who I don't know obviously, but they send scriptures to encourage me and to thank you. We had a lot of thanks for a book like this, because No Dress for Timmy is very unique. There isn't a book like this existing on Amazon. While you have a lot of pro-LGBT children illustrated books, this is the total opposite. It is unique in its class. And so, yes, I'm very grateful for that. That was of great encouragement to me. As to what I expect to happen among the LGBT community in response to this, I know there are people who persist, because they persist in immorality the same way, and I expect them to continue to fight in some form or the other. But we gain a victory. Christianity gained a victory, and truth gained a victory.
Ballantyne said church leaders across the country should use the book as a tool to protect the nation's children.
Merged from here. It stands for Christian Biblical Principles. It was written by a member of the Enthusiast Seventh-day Adventist Church. And I want to encourage persons to get copies of it. Pastors who are listening to me, get copies of it for your church members, for the children within your audience. Sponsor those who can afford, sponsor schools, sponsor school libraries. Just a few days ago, we were in Sandy Bay where we delivered 25 copies based upon sponsorships we got from persons in the diaspora. And so that's an encouragement I want to give. Join the fight, actively join the fight for the preservation of our children. Because the fact is, there's something called a Balaam principle, and that is what the LGBT community is seeking to do. Those persons who want to have global dominance, they seek to demoralize people, and if you demoralize people, then you're able to conquer them.
The story of No Dress for Timmy has been featured on various online sites. It tells the story of a little boy who courageously stands for the biblical truth that there are only two genders assigned by God. The Melissa's brothers are here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the place they call home. They're here to perform at a concert scheduled for February 2nd. In an interview with SVG-TV News, the brothers Mark, Jared, and Zachary James said persons should never limit themselves, and that if they work every day, their dream can become a reality.
People, don't stop thinking, don't stop dreaming, keep on going. towards your dream and think that anything is possible. Whatever you think of, that the mind is powerful, and what happens is that if you think that you can do it, it will.
Once you think that anything is possible, it's not like tomorrow you'll just blow up like that. You also have to put in the hard work and the practice. Like, one of the rules is that once you put in 10,000 hours, you'll be sure that you'll be an expert at it. But you just have to keep practicing every day, keep reading, learning more about your gift.
One of the things I just like to say is that we always try to remember who we are and why we're doing our music. We aren't just doing our music to show off or to show that become people that we don't want to be. We're using our music to inspire others. Know who you are and use your gift to help others find what they're great at. If you do that, we think that the world will become a better place.
Zachary, the youngest of the Melisesri brothers, has performed in front of thousands and expects to wow the local crowd at the February 2nd concert with reggae, pop and soul music.
What's it feel like for you?
Well, when I'm performing, and of course we have a lot of fans, and when I'm performing, I feel like I'm in a different world, and I feel like really happy, and I feel the vibrance between each and every person that are in the crowd, and I have to feel them, and I have to touch them, and to do that, and why we are able to touch people is because we have to make our vibes match with other people, and other people have to match their vibes with us, so that we can connect and interact with the crowd.
Okay, what is the greatest thing of all of this, though? What you get from all of that, from all of this performance?
Well, I get this from mainly I've started a long time ago, and we read a lot of motivational books, and we try to learn from different people, and that's because of stage presence. That helps us with our performance and getting our better performances. And we also all have to warm up. We have to practice every day and it actually helps us with our performance.
Here now is a small glimpse of what patrons can expect from Zachary and his brothers at the upcoming concert.
It's not about how much you make. It's about the people you help along the way. Now's the time we should all come together. Let's make this world into a better place.